Hey, I was having a little bit of a hard time getting the live video up and running, so I'm sorry you missed the big dramatic release of pressure. But as you can see back here, the red float has dropped to let me know that the pressure is completely released. So keep your fingers crossed. I'm going to open this thing up and see if the pork is done. Oh, goodness.
Pressure reduced would be less sometimes.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to, oh yes. Now it occurred to me, and I apologize, I didn't show you what it looked like inside the pot last time because the pot is so tall and I don't have, you know, a studio and overhead cameras. But I'm going to attempt to show you what the inside of it looks like. You can see that it's floating around in some liquid with some good color going on from the cumin and chili powder, and I just wish once again that it was smell-o-vision so you could smell it because it smells amazing. But I'm going to take the pork out and you're going to see exactly how tender it is. So I guessed right. It is just, it's falling apart as I try to take it out. So it's going to be fun to shred. Very fun to shred.
It's going to be a lot easier if it's tender.
It's a lot easier to shred if it's tender, you're right. Eli's sitting with me, keeping me company in the kitchen. But I'm just going to take all this nice tender pork out. I have been amassing the other fixings. I have shredded some cheese, some sharp cheddar cheese, and some pepper jack cheese. I usually like a little bit more sharp cheddar to pepper jack ratio. Seems to keep everybody happy on the spice component. And I have also sliced some black olives because I thought I had a can of sliced black olives, and as it turns out I did not. And you know what? There's enough here, and this is taking me long enough that I'm going to go get a slotted spoon. We're going to try to be smarter than what we're working with here, as my Uncle Alan would say. All right. Now, as entertaining as me trying to put the lid on the Instant Pot was earlier, I wish that you had seen me letting all the pressure go, because that was entertaining as well. I had a feeling that I was going to have enough of this pulled pork to be able to have some things other than just the nachos, and I think that's probably a safe assumption now that I'm looking at how much there is here. All right. Okay, I was telling you that I've got shredded cheese. I sliced some black olives, or you can buy the already sliced ones, which is what I usually do and what I thought I had in the pantry, but I did not. And I got out some pickled jalapenos. I thought about slicing up just raw jalapenos, which I have also done for nachos, which is very good. But tonight I'm feeling maybe not quite the heat that normally would happen. So, let me make sure I've got all these good pork bits out of the bottom of this here. I've got quite a plate of pork. I might have to get another plate out so that I can have room to shred it. And all I'm going to do is take 2 forks and shred it. There is no special equipment, no special spoon you have to have, or fork or knife or anything else. It is just 2 table forks that you would use, that we're going to use to help eat these nachos if we can't do it with our fingers. Okay. And there's another one floating around in here. There it is. All right. I'm going to try to put this to the side here a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to unplug this and move it over. All right. Now you see this humongous plate I have here. I'm just going to take my 2 forks. I'm actually going to get out another plate because there's no way I'm going to be able to shred all that on there. And I'm not going to make you watch me shred all of it. But I'll show you how it ends up. It's just, you just do this, shred it apart. I think I covered earlier that the recipe says that you're supposed to lightly grease a pan, which I think I've come down on the side of parchment paper. I have some, why not? It will keep it clean on the bottom, keep them from sticking, make it easier to dish out. I have even on nacho night, which we have had nacho night before, done them on individual pieces of aluminum foil. One night I did Mexican pulled chicken, and we had chicken, and I also had some pork, so they got to choose which they wanted, and everybody put theirs on their own little square of aluminum foil, and I put just a couple different ones on a big pan and built it the way they wanted to. That was a lot of fun. Tonight it's going to be a little less that individualized and a little more, everybody's going to start with the same meat and cheese, and I'm going to provide additional things to put on top. Black olives for us are a must. Other people don't really love black olives, so of course, as always, it's a you do you kind of a thing. They also said something about cilantro, and I love cilantro. My oldest thinks it tastes like soap, so and it's varying levels of popularity with the rest of the family. So I just didn't feel like fooling with it today. The cilantro that they had at the grocery store was not fantastic looking, so I just didn't fool with it. But that's also another thing you can put on top of it. Okay, I'm gonna get enough shredded to be able to show you how to build the first ones, because I have a feeling I'm gonna have to do a couple pans to feed my hungry family since I've made them wait this long to eat. But you see how it's coming apart. Super easy. Now, kind of beats having to sit by a smoker all day. Clearly it's not going to give the same flavor as the smoker, but as things go, it's better than a sharp stick in the eye, isn't it? All right. It's going to be really simple to put together, which is one of the reasons I like this. I like that the Instant Pot meant you could do a humongous piece of meat quickly. And I liked that when it was done, you could sort of do it to order and that you could do it quickly. And I preheated the oven to 400 degrees. And we're just gonna get this thing rolling right along. Oh, I also got pico de gallo. And I was very thankful that the grocery store had some already made up, because I love pico de gallo, but making it can be no fun because you have to cut up a ton of stuff. It's really just tomatoes, onions, and cilantro and jalapeno. Some people put in jalapeno, some people don't, but I was glad they had that. And I just found some holy guacamole, just the classic recipe. I've also got some plain avocado. When Jackson gets home, he may want just the plain avocado. And here are my pickled jalapenos, as well as black olives. McKenna's very excited about that. This is where I shredded the pepper jack cheese and the just regular old sharp cheddar cheese. Okay, I have a pan out, so let's get the pan over here. If I can make room here on the counter. My sous chef's gonna hand me the pan. All right.
Barely fit.
Barely fit, but we got it to fit. Okay. I'm going to take a piece of, will you get me out the tortilla chips out of the pantry, please? I'm going to just take a piece of parchment paper, lay it down on my pan.
The word I cannot pronounce, tortilla chips?
And McKenna is getting out our tortilla chips. Tostitos are fine. Whatever your favorite tortilla chips are. We happened on this brand that's Social. That's how it says it's phonetically pronounced underneath it here, Social, and they come without salt if you are really not a salt person and don't want the salt. I usually just get the regular ones. They also have blue corn ones, and they're thin and crispy, and to me they taste the most like what you would get up at a Mexican restaurant. And I'll tell you, I have ordered from our Mexican restaurant an order of nachos that they've made when I've really just wanted it to be authentic, and that's another option.
Mom, we have 3.
Okay, well, from the one at the front of our neighborhood. We're lucky enough to have one at the front of our neighborhood. All right, so now that I've destroyed the bag, we'll clearly have to eat them all tonight. I'm just going to take some out, pour them out on the pan, and try to turn them so that, I don't know if you can see this, but so that they're mostly up, not to the, they're like this so they can catch all the goodness we're about to lay down on it. And I'm gonna do enough so that it covers the bottom so that there's not goopy stuff on the pan, and so that everybody can grab a chip and come away with good stuff on it without having to try to scoop up with a spoon or something else. This is really nothing fancy, just trying to cover the pan well so that I don't see lots of places where there's empty spots. It's going to meld together to the point where it's not going to be a big deal about how many of them are large chips and how many of them are smaller chips. I have this feeling we're going to be able to make it work no matter what we do. Okay, and I may end up having to shred some more meat, but I'm going to
Probably.
take my trusty tongs here, and I'm going to just layer the meat on the top of the chips. That's it. Once I get the meat layered on, I'm going to take the cheese and sprinkle it liberally over the top. I'm going to start with the sharp cheddar and sprinkle that over the top, and then I'm going to end with the pepper jack. I'm not going to put my olives on top. I'm not going to put the pico de gallo on it or the guacamole or anything else. It's just going to be the pork and the cheese. And then when it comes out, I like having all of my fresh fixins cold or room temperature on top of it. I like for them to feel fresh and not squishy and baked like they get in the oven. But there you have it. Now, with some of this pulled pork that I'm gonna have left, because I've got plenty of pork left to shred, and I guess we could eat the entire bag of tortilla chips and just keep doing nachos till we're out of nachos, which that might be the family druthers. But I really like doing barbecue or pulled pork salad. Sounds kind of silly, but it really does work. Just making a good garden salad with some very crisp lettuce, mix of iceberg and romaine and some other things, whatever I can find that's crispy in it, and put this on top. And I actually have a taco salad dressing that a really good friend of our family's growing up came up with a fabulous taco salad recipe, and she has this dressing that goes over all of it that we love. So sometimes I make that to go on top of it, or you can sort of do a sour cream, lime juice kind of crema to go over it. But I have just used that plate of pork, and I hope you can see sort of how it's layered. And I'm just going to take the cheese and layer it on 400 degrees. It's only going to take 5 to 10 minutes depending on how bubbly you want your cheese and how hot you want everything to get. But it's not going to take long. Then we'll take them out, and I'll let every person build up a plate, and almost like a baked potato bar or some such, let them put all of their fixings on top.
Can we use a spatula to get out the nachos?
We are going to be using a spatula to get out the nachos because my daughter just figured out that it's going to be kind of hard to get them out otherwise. Now, the recipe on the website calls for a cup of cheese. I like more cheese on my nachos than that. I just think nachos and cheese are very important things to have together. And you need to have enough cheese to make sure you know that you got cheese on it.
I don't think you should have the two things apart.
So, anyway. Okay. Yes, we don't think you should have the two things apart. They should just be nachos and cheese going together. So I'm gonna add more like a cup and a half, 2 cups of cheese. But as I think I've mentioned, you do you. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the oven. I also have sour cream to go on top too. Because what's good nachos without sour cream? At least in this house. Some of us feel that way. And I will take a picture of what the finished product looks like, the way I've built it, and I'll post the recipe online. It's a damn delicious recipe. And I guess that's it. I may post something fun with what I do with the rest of the pulled pork if I do a salad, or I have also done sort of a cornbread bowl with it, with cornbread on the bottom and the pulled pork on top and some slaw. So we'll see what happens. Maybe a waffle underneath it. I
Or
don't know.
the kids just eat all the meat and leave nothing for you.
McKenna says that she might just eat all the meat and leave none for me.
I did not say
But
me, I said the kids.
anyway, the kids, sorry, she's including her brothers in that, I guess. Okay, that'll do it. I'll post pictures and recipes when I'm done. Thanks.